Good evening and welcome. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM, with another OGGM adventure. And I got a lot on my mind right now, and I don't really know where this is going to go, but I think it's important to talk about, and I think it's important to share with the role playing audience, all 194 of you, um, in regards to player advocacy and when should a player just say, okay, I'm done? Um, and this goes hand in hand with the whole discussion about X cards and yellow cards and throwing up the thing. And if a player is in a situation where they find themselves uncomfortable, should they advocate for themselves? And if they advocate for themselves and that is not being met with the response that they want, are they justified in walking away and saying, you know what, this isn't a good fit for me? And this is, kind of based on personal experience where I was in a situation where basically I didn't really understand the setting of the game, so I made a character based upon what I thought the setting was, and it wasn't that setting. It was more of just like, let's be silly and stupid and murder hobos, and that wasn't the kind of character I was playing. The character didn't really fit. The character was sort of useless compared to the power level of all the other characters. I didn't min max the character, and right off the bat the character was just placed in these horrible situations, and I'm like, wait, I'm a 13-year-old kid, why would I be doing this? I want to leave. I didn't agree to this isn't what I thought was happening. On just basically being shot at and then witness to murder, and all the other characters are like, oh, I'm gonna murder the guy because he looked at me wrong, and I'm like, I thought we were kids. I mean, a week ago I didn't know anything about this world, and now suddenly people are shooting at me. No, I'm done. I want to go home. And if you're not going to let me go home, then you've just basically kidnapping me. You're holding me against my will. And I kept trying to play that situation. I was like, okay, fine. The kid is obviously going to have some severe emotional trauma from this. I'm going to try and role play that emotional trauma and play the PTSD, play how, oh my God, I just lost my arm. Oh my God, I just saw my friend, turn into a seal. This basically super horror game that I was in, where every couple minutes, and then just like the second we have a chance to regroup, they're all, oh, let's go break in and break some more laws and do more things that are going to jeopardize the lives of our 13-year-old characters. So I was like, we're not sidekicks. We're not Robin. None of us are trained to do this. We're just kids. And every time we do this, it gets more and more horrible, and more horrible things are happening to my character, to the point where the character was placed in a situation where I felt he was unplayable. He'd been handicapped so much that I could not rationalize why that character would continue with this group of individuals. And I'm like, I want to surrender to the cops and have them take me into protective custody. And I was told, no, you can't do that. Okay, then I tell the people, if you cannot fix me, I want to go home. I'm done. And I've been told we can't fix you, and you can't go home. And I was like, well, then I'm done. And I'm trying to explain my feelings and the emotional thing. And maybe this is, I'm obviously going through a lot of emotional shit right now too. And I may have been trying to work that out during the game. And obviously that wasn't met with the level of, appreciation that we're supposed to expect today, with all this whole, player advocacy, and role playing is supposed to be a safe place, and it's okay if what happened upset you. So I chose to withdraw. Um, which, as I said at this whole point, since this COVID-19 thing started, because this video thing doesn't really work for me, I'm way more willing to just go, you know what, I'm not having a good time, I'm done. This doesn't really work for me, because of the way my brain function and the way my disability functions and the way things are. Role playing through this is really hard for me. So if I'm investing a lot of energy in the game and I feel like, you know what, I'm not really enjoying this, it's a lot easier for me to just go, I'm already home, I don't have to leave your game because I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel safe. I don't feel like I'm having a good time. You're not really letting me play the character. You're just whatever. I don't really understand the rules of this world. So, yeah. And should that be okay? And I think it should be. I mean, maybe I overreacted. I probably did. Um, but if we're supposed to be spearheading this idea of X cards, of player advocacies, of making gaming a safe space, then we have to champion the words we're saying. You know, we can't be calling people dickheads, and we can't be, talking about rape, and we can't be placing players in situations where they feel uncomfortable and then giving them crap because they feel uncomfortable and then start waving our politically correct flag and say, oh, this made me uncomfortable. You can't say, oh, that game makes me uncomfortable or that situation makes me uncomfortable, and then turn around and create an uncomfortable situation for a player and then say to that player, oh, well, fuck you for feeling uncomfortable because we're all having a good time. We just want to be murder hobos. We don't care about the rules of the genre. We just want to kill people and rob people. So player advocacy is important. Understanding player advocacy is important. Making gaming a safe space is important. Understanding that we're all going through so much emotional hardship right now because of COVID-19. And this has to be a safe escape, especially because this doesn't work. Zoom doesn't bring people closer together. It separates them. It makes us farther apart. This is not. This is like placing a glass wall in between all of us, and we're not part of a group anymore. We're a bunch of individuals talking to an unresponsive computer, and we can't see each other's faces. We can't really tell what each other are feeling. It's not the same as sitting at the table. It's not the same as creating that bond, and therefore it has to be much more important to understand the rules of the game and to all agree and to say this is what I'm comfortable with. This is the character I want to play. This is what I want to play. If these are the rules of the genre as established, and if that's not fun, it has to be okay for people to say this is not fun for me. I'm not comfortable. I'm gonna leave without feeling vilified. And that's, as somebody who has done that and has always afterward felt vilified, like, why should I apologize? Because you're making me feel bad to a point where I have to walk away. The last time I walked out of a game, I felt like I was the bad guy. Like, look, this is making me uncomfortable. I don't want to really be here. I don't feel really comfortable. I think it's just best. And again, it's just like, look, this is not a situation I'm enjoying. You've handicapped my character to the point where it's unplayable. I'm trying to play the character as he would logically react, and I'm like just being made fun of and pissed on. So yeah, and yeah, maybe I overreacted, but I'm entitled to overreact if that is the world we're trying to create. If we're saying this is supposed to be a safe space, then I should have the safety. You should have the safety to feel like, oh, I'm overreacting. And that's okay because I feel really crappy right now about what's happening to this character. And I'm being made fun of. And I'm trying to say, well, this character is handicapped. Why would he keep doing this? And you're saying, no, you can't do that? I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. What are your opinions on player advocacy, the X card, the right of a player to advocate for themselves and say, look, this isn't fun. I'm done. I'm not really a good fit for this group and whatever. I don't know. You tell me. And I will, hedge that with saying, yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that I'm going through right now, and this probably just hit a nerve, and maybe at a different time and place, I wouldn't have been upset, but whatever. I wasn't having fun. So I just kind of felt shitty. So yeah, I advocated for myself. You tell me if you think I'd made the right choice or the wrong choice, because yeah, I'm kind of feeling a little weepy here. So I think I'll stop now. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for following.